morning, everybody. Well, here we are again, live. Chuck Whelon. I'm an artist. This is my live stream show, Urfspace Live. I do different things on this show. Lately, I've been doing like speed drawings, 20-minute drawings, and paintings because I'm competing in a thing called Art Battle. I've just finally officially found out that I will be competing on Wednesday. I think it's July 17th. I'll keep you posted on that, but sounds like I'm in there. And so that's exciting news. So I'll be getting back to art battle practice. I've been practicing for a few weeks. Now I'm taking a little break and doing some other things, getting caught up on a few projects. Last week I did some inking drawing. That came out quite well. I did some, well, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Oh, hello. Looks like my co-host here. He's here. He is. He's reading.
Good morning, sir. I'm late.
I was a bit unfair to Dale last week. He likes to have a little lie-in, and I didn't tell him that. I thought I had told him, but apparently I didn't tell him I was away on vacation. I might have mentioned that I was thinking about it, but I don't think I had confirmed it. But and I had thought maybe I would do it while I was away, but it was too complicated. I didn't really have anything. I could have sort of sat and drawn in a sketch, but I wouldn't have, I had my iPad positioned weirdly or something. I wasn't going to sit on my vacation and draw on my iPad. I don't like drawing. I'm amazed. I'm continually amazed at the things that people do on their iPads in Procreate and stuff like that. There's a guy I follow, Shane. I started following because he liked Urfspace, but he likes Doctor Who. He did like a Dalek. And it came out so good, like using Procreate. I'm like, how did you do that? I didn't. I just liked it. Normally, by the way, folks, I just sort of like people's posts. I like it. I don't. Trouble is, Facebook doesn't have a button when you don't like something. That's when you tend to comment. I notice. So it's really careful. I guess you sort of make a lot of positive comments. But anyway.
So we're just going to gloss over the fact that you didn't let me sleep in last weekend.
Well, yes. I've been learning about gloss varnishes. Varnishing my work. I've varnished the pieces that I have up at the Live Worms gallery. They're on the wall there. I hope someone will go and look at them, buy them. It's only one day left to show. The last day of the show is tomorrow. Also tomorrow, our friend Joe Sikarak. He goes by Joe Sick for short, so I'm going to go with that as his cartoonist name. He's going to be at the museum today at the Cartoon Art Museum, I believe.
Yeah.
We might pop along there and see him if we can.
I am.
Yeah.
After the show.
Well, we'll talk about that after the show. But yes, definitely that sounds like a good thing to do. And I myself later will definitely be in North Beach for the closing of my gallery show there, or not our gallery show. I'm part of a group show, a lovely show at Live Worms Gallery. Now I found out about Live Worms. It did used to sell live bait.
Okay, so that's why it's called Live Worms.
Yes, but the shop was called something else. They had a Live Worms sign, which I think maybe they kept the sign or something. I don't know, but the bait shop apparently was one of those old shops where only there'd be one old man there. And it's hardware. And if you wanted anything, I'd say I need a size 3 screw or whatever, and then he'd have to go off in the back. 5 minutes later, comes back with a size 3 screw. Then
that sounds like an
go through your list one by
one. Joint.
But people were bemoaning that that's gone away. You're probably the sort of person. That's the sort of retail you'd like, isn't it?
Yes.
You should open that shop. You should have a vast shop. You go in the back. You order it on Amazon Express delivery.
Well, I never raised worms, but I did spend a lot of time thinking about starting a snail ranch because I liked snails. They're delicious. But
I'm so sorry. Well, I used to have live snails living in my garden.
Yeah. Those are eaten snails, but you got to detox them.
Yes, I found out they were eating snails. Apparently the French, when they first came over here, they introduced their eating snails. Yep. And the eating snails were like, oh, hello, this is nice. We like California. And multiplied everywhere.
There's just not enough places where you can get good snails in the Bay Area.
Yeah. Well, I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah, I like snails.
There used to be a French restaurant on Nob Hill.
Yeah,
I would go to once in a while. It wasn't on top. It was more like it was down in the Tender Knob. But it was a proper French restaurant, and they did do like snails. They were quite, yeah.
I was going to have my ranch in the backyard with my snails and feeding them cornmeal. I'd get a little cowboy hat so I could be a snail rancher, but it just didn't work out because I didn't have the heart to kill them. And the other thing is you have to brand them all so you don't get them rustled. You have to get the little branding iron and heat it up with a cigarette lighter and brand your snails.
Well, I could do it. I mean, I've had a good relationship with snails over the years. I used to like them as a kid. I mean, Sam had this pet snail called Snaily.
Really?
And he would crawl all over me and all over everybody. We were very friendly with snail. I don't know how long they're supposed to live. I'm assuming he was one of the edible snails. In the end, his shell got very sort of frail and fell apart. I don't know if that was just old age or, not proper diet.
Well, it's part of their life cycle. They get to a certain age and then they make the cocoon and come out as a squirrel.
Okay, well, so we set him free and hopefully he did that. And I remember as a kid, I also used to enjoy snail races. Do you know how a snail race works?
No, tell me how a snail race.
Well, the key is you don't try and make them run in a line because that's impossible. So you draw a circle and you put them in the middle of the circle, and which one makes it out of the circle first? And it's very fun because they might be just getting right to the edge of the circle, and then they'll just turn around, and go the opposite way for no apparent reason. No, but eventually one of them will cross the thing, and you win it, and you can mark their shells with a bit of Tipp-Ex or something. So I used to enjoy that. Again, probably cruelty to animals, but. Okay, I think that's the thing about children and human beings. We sort of we go through this sort of phase of cruelty, a childish phase of cruelty, in order to sort of learn about the world around us. Eventually we get a bit more enlightened. We go, maybe we shouldn't be so cruel to everything. But what we sort of it's also built into how we learn is sort of a certain amount of cruelty, I think.
Well, I think that at least when I was growing up, we went through different stages of pets. You would start with disposable pets like an ant farm or sea monkeys, and then you would work your way up in terms of responsibility to something like a house cat.
Yes. I think if you learn to love a snail, then you're more affectionate towards other animals.
Yeah, I felt bad when I felt bad about my lizard. I felt bad about my ant farm and my sea monkeys. But I was pretty good with cats.
Oh yeah. I always kind of thought you are. To me, you are like a giant sea monkey. You're like a sea monkey that evolved.
Well, I've got the skin color for it. Did you notice that when you looked at the illustration,
like the strange American thing?
When you looked at the illustration of the sea monkeys, they were not very diverse.
Well, in the original, I don't know. I wonder if they've upgraded them now. So they should make them spotty. When I did Where's the Mermaid, I like koi carp. I made the fish spotty and stuff like that, and all multicolours.
Okay.
I thought that was, that was my way of dealing with that issue. I didn't make them. I made them all multicolours. And then I also, when I did humans, I made them multicolours too. Because
I heard
what, they do come quite colour. Humans do go quite colourful. You can colour them any colour from blue to red, and that's quite a lot. Or I don't know, looking at my colour wheel, you can really go anything from blue to yellow, all right, without being racist. I mean, you can use all of those skin tones. They're really only green. But you can also do green. If somebody's sick, you can do them green. So, and that applies to all. That's interesting. So green, people sort of merge in green or blue or somewhere like that. We can all unite on blue people. So I've always done a lot of blue people in my work. I mean, the gnomes, when I do them, they're usually sort of in the blue, purples and greens range. They might go to yellow. Yeah, they gnomes include more blue though.
When you do portrait painting, and you do portrait painting of people of different skin colors, there's a lot of colors that you do not expect to encounter. I mean, just even in my face, there's blues and grays and reds and yellows based on
Yeah.
the translucency of the skin and what's underneath it. And you paint someone of a skin color that you haven't painted before, and it's a whole different palette because those skin colors can shift those underlying colors in another direction.
That's nice. We've got. I'm just noticing we've got a caption up telling us that Amber show is tonight. I don't know why. Well, we love Amber. Amber, watch Amber show. That's all right. Okay. You got.
I'm not part of it this evening.
Where's our producer? I think I'm going on. Am I going on this evening?
You better check.
I told her I was going on. I was away last week. Maybe I am. Oh no,
Ooh,
I can't
right.
be. No, I know. I'm pretty sure I told her I've got something going on this evening. I think I'm on next week.
I definitely want to be there when you're on. I want to see how it goes.
And why am I called at production? Where's our production person? He's not here. Typical.
Where is Sam?
Well, he felt like since I wasn't doing the time things, he suddenly was like, I don't think there's enough for me to do.
Okay, well,
I disagree. I mean, you could be creating things to do.
You are now going to be part of Art Battle. You've been officially picked.
Yes. That is correct. Wait, I cannot see my keyboard.
So all of this work we've been doing actually has led to something?
Yes. They're excited to have me. They said they were short of people to compete. Oh, and I think I'm not sure, but he made a comment when I went to sort of share the event. This guy Ricky Matthews, who I've been trying to get on the show for ages. I met him. I guess he's a local artist. He does like cool monsters and things and sculpting and animations and 3Ds and stuff, different things.
Wow.
And I don't know.
Awesome.
He had some job just go south of him recently that he sounds like he's been a bit angry about. So, but anyway, check his website out, Ricky Matthews. Yeah, I think he might be doing it, which would be fun. Yeah. And I'll be there, and I'm training. And we'll get back to. I think we're going to get back to Art Battle training again very soon because now, well, we've got But I don't want to over egg the pudding. I mean, I was pretty good. I'm ready, but I've got a couple of other things. So I've been catching up on a few things. One of the things I've been going back to. You see, now that I've achieved my goal, which wasn't winning Art Battle, it was getting on Art Battle. I'm nearing my goal. I'm going to do it, even if I just stand up there and scream for 10 minutes. I'll consider it a success.
Yeah, you went on a vacation. You stopped doing
my
the art model paintings.
By the way,
your art flabby. Your art muscles are flabby. We got to get you back in training.
Yeah, okay, but I've been doing anyway. So I went back. I went back further than anyone's ever gone before, taking retro to its logical conclusion.
Okay.
I had a big task to do ahead of me for a while to sort through all my Pufel work.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well, it was good. It was good. It's like, okay, so what prompted me, so there's a couple of things prompted me. I was like registering. Oh my God, you have a copy. All right, hold on to that. That's very rare. I don't have any left. I had to buy one in order to send it to the copyright office in order to register it. I also had to send them like my last copies of like a lot of the zines that I did. I've sent them all those to get them all registered. Just it took a while, but I had to send them the original publications and all this sort of stuff. So that's all taken care of now, which is good. I mean, but I wanted to do that before I sort of put it. I was going to then sort of compile the zines back together. But looking through, and there's also a whole story, like a 10-page story that I did when I was quite young, like probably 21, 22. That was the first one that I did.
Okay.
And before that, I've been doing like my Ferdinand the Frog comics. I go back to Ferdinand the Frog from time to time. He's my more autobiographical comic. And I've got right here the original one that I did. I didn't finish it.
So you're saying off camera, oh wow.
So
man.
You can see where I was like this. I'm sorry my producer's not here because this is a good little lessons for him. So yes,
Okay.
so I did this. So I was doing like these things. I was like, oh look, this is all stuff Dale was telling me I should do, and I was doing it years and years ago, but I abandoned it all for different reasons. I think partly, right, there was not. When I was doing all these, I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to do it. But this one in particular, it was never quite finished because I didn't know how to ink it. I finished the story. It was quite good. So you can see what I knew and I didn't know. So at this point, I knew quite well about, like, I needed sort of black and white. I wanted to do something stark. I've probably seen some Cerebus Yardvark and stuff like that.
I'm looking at
And
that.
I
And I
like the
see
sort
a
of
lot
Freak
of
Brothers and all this
undergrounds.
sort of cross-hatching here. But, you know, I definitely, this one I used a lot more cross-hatching, which I definitely abandoned the next time I went out. And I didn't really know where I was going. I want to change this. That's something I might have to ask you about because it's sort of not finished. The whole thing as well. There's at least, you know, there's a lot of pages because I did 6 zines like this. And this material sort of been retired. I picked out a bit of it and put it into volume 1. Like this sort of goes sort of around what I have out there already as volume 1. So then I'm not quite sure. It could all go before volume 1, but then I want to write this prequel. So this all comes before volume. I'm really confused about that now.
Okay, you sound.
And so I'm not sure if I should change this text. I know you say, oh, don't change. Like certain people say never change it. So I don't know. Maybe I'm tending to lean with that. Like I got who was it? Carla Speed McNeil. She was very never changed it. She was very against like
you had this morning.
What's that?
How much coffee have you had this morning?
I'm just half sipping my first cup.
Okay, you're like blah 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 blah.
Well, I've got a lot to say. So anyway, well, I don't know. Okay. Well, we can take questions. All right. So I'm using the yin and yang. I was really quite into the yin and yang back then. He's smoking a cigarette because I smoked back then.
Yeah, sure. That's a cigarette.
No, it is a cigarette. I did particularly
right. Okay. Anyone who's wearing a yin yang symbol in a cartoon, yeah, that's not a cigarette. Because that has. I'm looking at that and I see elements of Von Baudet in it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I did. I hadn't looked a lot of Von Baudet. I mean, how aware was I of Von Baudet at that point?
You must have been aware of Cheech Wizard in the 80s, a cartoonist.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when I was really aware of him, though. I don't think I was really aware of him till I lived here, and this was before that.
Okay, so you weren't in the US yet. Okay.
Yeah, this was in. So this would have been. This is quite early. This is 2020. 1992, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I might have written on it somewhere. We'll see. Somewhere around there. It was after I finished college, and I'd sort of been traveling a bit, and I'd sort of had an idea of doing it as a comic. I'd probably been drawing like the characters. Okay, so then the next page. You know, this is all good. This is sort of where I was at in my drawing at the time, like in my Ferdinand comics. I would do sort of, this is what I'd consider quite a well done Ferdinand.
Were you familiar with Dan O'Neill's Odds Bodkins?
Hang on. Dan O'Neill?
Yeah.
Bodkins, did you say?
His strip Odd Bodkins.
Oddkin. No, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that. No.
Okay. For some reason, it's been showing up on my radar at used bookstores over the last week. And I had never seen it before, but there's elements of what you're doing, I think, that's similar to what I would see in Odd Bodkins. But this is so obviously influenced by Undergrounds. So,
yes, it was definitely. You know, I really like the Freak Brothers at that point. The Freak Brothers were what really made me interested in doing comics. I like Crumb a lot too, what he was doing. Not so much. I don't like Crumb so much for the content as the style.
Yeah.
The Freak Brothers, I like the content and the style. And I was still sort of really enjoying reading Judge Dredd and all that sort of stuff. But already at that point, I was like, I can sort of do a Judge Dredd, but it's not really where my strength lies. My strength is more in like, you know, in the humor or whatever, or some truth. Like there was some truth. I mean, I don't know what I put on here. I mean, I always try and be truthful. So I was putting, this is sort of the true story, the story.
Okay. Those demons coming out of in the last panel, those demons coming out of the white space, that's definitely Dave Sheridan, who did some
Oh, I
work.
think, yeah, definitely Dave Sheridan, probably, yes. I mean,
Yeah,
probably, like, now you've told me more and I understand more what Dave Sheridan was doing. Yeah, definitely Dave Sheridan was influencing me a lot
yeah.
from the Freak Brothers, what he did in the Freak Brothers and stuff. Yeah.
Now, do I understand correct? You say that this is a 6-page story that you did in the early 80s.
Yeah, so I was probably about 22 or somewhere around
What do
there.
you want to do with it?
Well, I'm going to put it. I've been for a long time. I've been meaning to put all this material together into a book, and I sort of got this all collated. And I realized there was a few bits of the webcomic that were gone. It was, like all my original webcomic postings are gone,
Okay.
apart from a few. Um, there are only 3 where I actually lost the written contents, like 3 sort of special strips that I did. Where 2 were on the rules of Blunderball, which I don't know if I remember those. And 1 was like a sort of pledge strip, which is where Joey Manley, like, he gave me a $50 donation when he saw that pledge strip, which was a big donation. And, and then when he started Modern Tales, like Poofle was part of it. So, that pledge
Yeah.
strip was good. I did it was like a sort of Jerry Lewis or PBS sort of pledge strip.
So you're going to compile your early strips.
Mm. Well, yes. So yeah, I'm gonna put out this book. Okay, I'll tell you why. Okay, there's some things. So we'll go through. So that
Wow.
was very D&D. So yes, all right. So I didn't really know where I was going, but I'd like to do these sort of monsters and things like that. I always did that, and like, okay, I'm still doing that with Goodman Games. Yeah, I did the old school DM's guide. I was being, this was my shelf. I had the TV and the VCR. This was my.
Would Goodman
I probably had a
Games
candle in a bottle.
would Goodman Games be interested in doing this as something they're involved in? Because this is obviously pre-Pewfell and it's Dungeons and Dragons inspired.
Yeah, well, it's very directly saying it's D&D. He's saying, well, let's play D&D. All right, so then, okay, this is the next question. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so I never resolved this title at the top. It's the name of the module, the Beacon at Enon Tor, which is a famous sort of small D&D module. Not famous. I don't know if it's famous. But it's a sort of known. It's a nice early like D&D. It was published in White Dwarf. It's a basic module, like 1 session for a handful of players. And you've got to go invest. So it's like this whole story is based on the Beacon at Enon Tor. So I'm like, do I call it the Beacon at Enon Tor, or do I just parody it? Like, because up till now I've been very literal. Like, they're playing D&D. It's the D&D. He's holding like the D&D book. I have the D&D books in there. So do I call it the Beacon at Enon Tor as a homage, or I could just change the Tor like Beacon at Enoch Tor or something like that? And that's a question I've not been able to resolve these last 30 years.
Just pick it, or just ask your wife to help you pick it. Ask Tina.
You don't have any opinion on that, then?
No, I don't play D&D.
But you're very opinionated. All right. Well, if any viewers have got any comments, sorry, my producer's not here, so I'm not seeing if there's comments. Let's have a look. Okay, I'll try and keep a view of comments.
You're talking about coming up with a title for something decades later. You're the only one who's going to be able to solve that.
Yeah, it's written on there. I wrote on the Beacon Enon Tor, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I've described the problem. I don't know if I'm calling it the actual, which is probably copy. I mean, well, actually, a name can't be copyrighted. So you could be trademarked, but you're not going to trademark the title, really.
Stop procrastinating. Just do it.
That's the sort of holes that I get stuck in. And I spend forever worrying about stuff like that. And okay, but anyway, I can solve that problem now quite easily. And okay, all this stuff though took ages. All right, that's my problem with this. It's like, my sort of hatching method was quite good, but it was really taking me a long time. So they go along, and actually, I'm quite pleased with all this. Like the writing, it's quite funny. I did all right. Then they played D&D. This is the last one where it's sort of the meta panel where they sort of come in. I'm quite pleased with that. There's the goblins. They come in the room. There we are. They're rolling the dice.
I like the lettering because it's hand lettered, and it looks like someone who was not. It looks like someone who was new to cartooning doing their lettering and not caring about the rules of lettering.
Yeah.
And that's the
I almost deliberately so. I mean, I'm a bit like I don't know. I've sort of gone back and forth. I'm better at it now. Again, I'm thing is that now I know all the things that I did wrong, but I didn't know back then. But now also I'm looking back and I'm like, yeah, like you say, I'm quite happy with what I did.
you should be.
More happy than I was back then.
You should be happy with it, because it's one of the steps that you had to step up to get where you are now.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things in there which I sort of stopped doing because I was like, oh, like this sort of stuff. I was like, oh, it's not really working as well as I wanted it to back at the time. But now I'm like, okay, well, actually, so I saw then I didn't do it, but now I'm like, oh yeah, I should do more of that again.
Well, I look at this stuff and I'm thinking of like when I was looking at Phil Foglio when he was doing his stuff for Dragon magazine in the back. I don't know if you got Dragon when you were in England.
Oh yes, I did. I don't, but it was so hard to come by. More White Dwarf.
Yeah, we had White Dwarf over here. I don't even know if White Dwarf is still being published. I think it might be.
It might. I mean, it's Games Workshop's magazine, and I think as long as Games Workshop was around, they were going to keep something probably coming out.
But Games Workshop, that's mostly Warhammer now.
They've always been somewhat more. I mean, they were a shop, but they were also making games. But yeah, they were making the miniatures, so that Warhammer. That's their business, is making the Warhammer, which requires you to buy large numbers of miniatures.
We had a Warhammer shop in a local mall a number of years ago. I guess they couldn't make it, but it was amazing.
That was at their peak.
Yeah,
I think the video game ate into it too much.
Well, right now, what I'm noticing is people are printing their own game figures.
Yes.
And the printers to do it just keep coming down in price.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be good soon. I mean, it's like original printers. I finally got my 2D regular printer, my Canon Pixma IX680. Very happy. I'm on the second one because I dropped the first one. But it's the best printer I've ever had. I had numerous Epsons, HPs, goodness knows what. Block, jam, clog, there, but whatever. This one works very nicely. And I always used to say one day they'll invent one that works well, and they did.
Yeah, well, if you, I used to sell computers, and there was always some sort of deal where you get a free printer if you bought a computer. And that's because they made their money on the ink cartridges.
All right. So next page, we start to have problems.
Ooh, wait. I want you to zoom into the rough in the lower right-hand corner.
Well, I thought you were going to be intrigued by this. So this problem is like, okay, I mean, I have done the whole thing. The whole thing is here, but I've increasingly less done the inking. I just thought like, I don't know what the hell. This is a huge job. What am I going to do? I had no idea. And I sort of raced ahead with the inking. So I got it all done. There's bits where I knew what I was doing, like this zombie, like that. Okay, that's good. I knew that. It's good. I had quite a clear idea of how I was doing that scene visually, black and white. But there was so much I didn't know what to do. For some reason, I seem to have more of a hang on, like I know how I'm doing zombies.
What paper?
Then it was just like a lot of work. I think I was like, oh, this I've got to do this. I've got to do this. Oh, okay. And now the thing is, I can actually do it fairly quickly. I mean, I'm almost wondering if I'm just going to sit on the show and start doing it.
I think that you should finish this on the show.
Yeah. All right.
Now wait a minute. What paper is that? Is that just?
It's not great paper. It's like drawing paper. It's getting a bit yellowed with age. I've already scanned these in their current form, by the way. So I did take details.
Do you have? Was when you were doing this in the 80s, is this just dip pen and brush?
What I used, I'm not sure if I was still using my Rotring. I think it's my Rotring pen.
Oh, so you're talking about tech pens?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was using my Rotring. This panel, I like it, but I think I need to draw it. It's like can you see the panel?
Yeah, barely.
So fish is kind of going around the corner. I sort of did the perspective on it quite right, and this is why I don't want to erase it. But it doesn't really look like Pupil's in a lot of trouble. It looks like he's inches off the floor, and I
Yeah,
really need to erase it and redraw it in a totally different perspective.
you're going to have to ink that as is. You can't change that underdrawing because
Well, I've got to. I've got this. I think I can change it. There's some small changes I can make.
no. The thing is, it's not that you're going to finish these, but you need to finish these in the style that you were drawing when you were 21, which is a different style than you have now.
I disagree. I think I can finish.
You're going to have to.
The reason I didn't finish it then is because I knew it was wrong.
Wait. Is this what we're doing today on the show? Or are you going to paint?
You just said it. You just called it.
Oh, God damn it. I have no idea why.
Original art.
None at all.
Wait, I need to
Friendship sucks, kids.
Pencils. Here we go.
Anyone who's watching, if your friend ever asks you to be on a web show with them, say no.
What's that?
Nothing. Hey, I went up to Flax, Oakland, day before yesterday. Or was it yesterday? No, day before yesterday. I had to buy a fountain pen for a pal of mine. So if you need fountain pens, go to Flax in Oakland, California, and ask Jane.
Okay.
Jane's I think she's the best trained there on fountain pens.
Oh, wow. Okay, they've got someone trained in fountain pens.
Well, she knows what a nib is versus a feed. She also suckered me into buying one. She's really good.
I'm just going to start inking a bit up here with this dip pen with my...
Is that a crow quill?
You think something? Okay, people saying some magic words here. I've got to write these right. Okay, I didn't think they were right at the time, but I guess I'm going to accept them for what they are.
Okay, you're going to put
Farama, Alakaz. Let me do that. Arama, Farama. Ooh. It'd be nice if my pen worked.
Do you need a new nib? Do you need to clean it?
That's fine. It just needs a little exercise somewhere.
Try it. Well, exercise it on another piece of paper.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing that got me really excited. So I read through this whole story, which I hadn't read it for a while. I mean, I remembered it, but I got to the end, and it made me laugh really hard at the end.
Okay.
And I was really giggling away, and I was like, oh.
Well, you are easily amused.
What did you say?
I said you're easily amused.
I am easily amused. But all right, I think I guess I did what I wanted to do. So I was like, oh.
Okay. I think this is just really freaky that you're working on something that you have not touched in, God, 40 years.
Alakazam.
Okay, look at the thickness of that line compared to the thickness of the line used elsewhere in the strip. Do you want to use...
It's okay, because he's saying magic words, so it's fine.
All right.
I probably wanted to do it more differently. Alakazam in... Alakazam... Well, I can't read it. What? Alakazam.
Ararama Farama.
Arama Farama Alakazama.
Okay.
Alakazamama.
Okay, I can tell you right now that...
Yeah, I didn't even know what I wrote.
If you're going to do any drawing, you're going to have to get a thinner nib.
Yeah, I'm realizing that.
Yeah. After I told you that. So tell us about the mountain trip that you went on and you abandoned me.
First of all, it wasn't in the mountains. Second of all, Well, I felt bad about that.
No, you didn't.
I mean, but trust me, Dale, if I was going to abandon you in the mountains, you'd be abandoned in the mountains.
I'd be in a bag. I'd be in a bag with some rocks at the bottom of the river. Okay, don't be lazy. Go get a new nib.
Yeah, I'm giving up this idea. Maybe the paper's gone all sort of soft and bleedy. Could be a problem. I mean, I don't know. I may have to print it on a new sheet. I could print the black on a new sheet and do it.
Yeah, you may want to do that.
All right, I'm going to focus on trying to redraw this bit like here.
Okay, with a pencil?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to have to go through, I suppose, and erase things after anyway. I think I sort of did that. I don't know.
We'll just use a blue or red pencil.
So people say, okay, so I've got some. I just need to sort of change perspective, so he's a bit more like.
You see, it sucks that you're doing this because you were erasing stuff you did 40 years ago.
Well, I knew I didn't. The thing is, I knew I didn't do it right. Although I do.
Yeah,
I
think it doesn't matter if perspective's right. All it matters is it looks right.
No, but it wasn't. It wasn't. No, it looked. The thing is, like, Pupil's supposed to be dangling off the edge, and it looks like he's just. He looks like he's just about to touch the ground.
This was the limit of your ability.
No, but it was wrong because I didn't know. It wasn't the limit of my ability. I was just lazy, and I thought, well, it looked quite good, and I wasn't going to erase it because I didn't know how. But like now, I'm like, okay, I can just change the perspective. At least it'll look a little bit more like he's about to. He's sort of falling into the abyss rather than, falling into, like just about to land on the ground.
Fine.
But it's quite tricky still. I might need a little scrap of paper here again. I'm trying to think what I'm doing.
Well, did you want to hear what I did?
Yes. Sorry, yeah, lovely. Yes, thank you. That would be lovely.
The television show that my cat associate produces, Cinema Insomnia, the host, Mr. Lobo.
Yes. So your cat, the television producer.
And his cameraman, Aaron, they were in Los Angeles shooting a movie with Paul Barnell, who did The Ghastly Loves of Johnny X, which is a good cult movie. So they were down there, and then they also shot some footage at Monster Palooza, which is the big horror convention down in Pasadena.
All right.
And after that, they came up to San Jose so that we could shoot a little footage for Huey's episode on Cinema Insomnia. Right. So I had to dress up in my gorilla suit with a dress over it and a hat and a wig, and I had to shove socks into the bosom of the dress. So not only did I have a gorilla suit, but I was dressed in drag on top of the gorilla suit.
I think did I see a picture of that?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's true.
I wasn't sure that was a recent picture.
And
gorilla suit. It's hard to tell. You need to hold up a copy of the daily newspaper or something.
And what I learned was, because we shot it outside in the afternoon, in 100-degree weather, you do not want to be wearing a gorilla suit with a dress over it.
No,
it lasted about 10 minutes before I was about to pass out.
All right, well, good advice there, viewers. Right,
yeah.
Now what I'm doing here, this is another really good reason for having my desk out here, is I'm using my extra long ruler. I mean, it's more just a question of drawing the perspective, I suppose.
Well, the vanishing points are off the page. You're not even really drawing in perspective. You're just eyeballing it. David Chelsea would be upset with you.
Who?
Oh, I'm joking. I believe it's.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're joking because it's the sort of thing that's going to upset somebody. They really need to take a look around, see what's going on.
What are you talking about? Are you sober this morning? I don't even know why I'm on this show anymore. David Chelsea wrote a number of books on linear perspective for cartoonists, and they're really good.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah,
novels.
okay. Well, what would he say I'm doing wrong here?
Well, where's the vanishing points? Where's the?
Oh well, one's up here. One's like apparently down here. I'm determining where the others are.
Where's the field?
They're like somewhere way off the bottom of the page.
Where's the horizon line?
It's somewhere. It's like way down here somewhere.
Oh God.
Okay, I think this is what my problem is that this is too high. Yeah, this needs to.
The problem is you didn't finish.
I am eyeballing. But there's a lot of themes here that I keep using. Pupil's always falling off the edge of the world. Or here he's fallen off the edge of a thing. It doesn't take him very long to fall off the edge.
So I look at the design of the characters in this, and I look at the design of your frog.
Yeah.
Did those two characters, in essence, merge into the modern design of Pupil?
No, because Ferdinand's always Ferdinand. He's very simple.
Okay.
No. I mean, yes and no. In that, only in as much as they both represent, like, me somewhat. Although Pupil, like Ferdinand, they're both sort of distorted. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm looking at the mouth and the eyes.
Yeah.
And there's some similarities there.
The eyes, I mean, that's, I probably stole those from Garfield, really. Or The Simpsons and all that. I mean, that was around, I think, already.
You had Garfield in England?
Yeah, I remember the only time I saw it was like my friends had a copy of the book, and I remember she bought it, like my friend's mum. And she was a nice lady. She used to like run our kindergarten and stuff like that. And she was quite serious. She played the cello, and she was in a wheelchair from multiple sclerosis.
Oh wow, Garfield was.
And she had Garfield, but she didn't think much of Garfield. She said supposedly he's America's funniest cat. She didn't think he was very funny.
I didn't realize that Garfield was 78 when it was nationally syndicated. God, and there's a new Garfield.
It was 1978.
Yeah, and there's a new Garfield movie now. Man,
well, I can't imagine anyone's going to want to see that.
Jim Davis has ridden that cat to fame and fortune.
Well, I mean, I like what that he had it, he wasn't, he did it really in a thought out way, which is always what I understood. And then when he got up and talked at the National Cartoonists Get Together, he sort of confirmed that, in that he sort of said that, I do one joke Monday, another joke Tuesday. Like, he's got a different kind of joke that he does for each day of the week. And so that's very calculated.
Well,
and he's like, that's what people want. They want the repetition of something that's the same every day that they can count on, because everything else in the world is so chaotic. And I was like, oh yeah, now I understand Dale a bit better.
Well, Peanuts is like that. All of the simple strips, because it's just one gag.
Yeah. I'm just remembering how hard it is making comics here.
Do it on the computer.
It takes so long to draw one bloody panel. I mean, back then that was it. I mean, oh my God, I can't believe it took so long to do this.
Well, that's why you need to be on Amber's show. Amber's show, Philo. You're going to have to draw 3 panels.
Okay. Yes. Well, yeah, we need to look at Philo. I think we need to. I think I need to look back, because I do think I'm trying to be accurate to what I drew before. That's my other problem. Well, that's why it wasn't. Okay, he's really falling over the edge of that cliff. All right, there we go. See, look, I drew it before that. I mean, I'm actually really just sort of redrawing that. It's very simple.
Okay. You see, this is why I would do it in digital.
And I'm not sure if it's still accurate to the module, but I'm pretty sure I know that I made it accurate because I try to sort of, I probably even counted the crenellations at some point. I don't think I've done that this time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, I did. That's about right. Yeah.
Okay. You're explaining why more underground cartoonists did work about sex than Dungeons and Dragons because there's less research.
I thought the point was that you're supposed to get more research. Isn't that the whole fun of drawing a sex cartoon?
Well, I'm wondering,
You spend all day.
When Gilbert Shelton was drawing the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers, how much reference do you think he bothered to look up?
Okay, I think the other thing is, although I drew him quite well, I think I drew him a bit big. So I got to shrink you down a bit, people. Sorry.
If you were doing this digitally, you could have just lassoed it and shrank it.
Well, okay, let's also remember there was no digital tools back then, so that would be a bit cheesy. But yeah, I could do. I should. Yeah, we'll see.
God, I'm trying to remember when I got my hands on my first graphics tablet in a computer. It was an Apple. It wasn't even a Mac yet. The Macs hadn't come out. It was an Apple, and it was a little tablet about this big, and it didn't have a stylus. It had a wooden stick, and it was like drawing on a big sheet of rubber with a wooden stick, and it had no pressure sensitivity. Man, I'm flashing back.
I hate this panel.
Okay. I don't remember why you
get stuck on this.
You're just having too much fun today.
And how am I going to light it? I've done it all wrong. I've got to. I hate doing comics. Thing about comics is like you have this sort of optimism. You think, oh, it's going to be so easy.
Well, it's been weeks since I finished my last strip, and I haven't started a new strip yet. I've been bad. And I have all the electronic tools, so there's no excuse for me not drawing.
I got to really show that he's going over the cliff somehow. That's my problem.
Okay.
I've got the whole perspective is wrong.
So what? It's wrong in all the other panels.
Well, no, because it's like I'm trying to show that he's like way below him is the ocean. I don't think I have that panel anywhere. So actually, let me see. I had them coming up by the ocean. There's a storm raging. What the hell? But I like how it did Bish. He's going up there. What the hell? Bring my head in.
Okay. Chuck, just do it. The perspective doesn't need to be right.
No, but the angle, like for the story, like he's going over the cliff. He needs to be like, okay, I need to have a different view. All right, I'm killing it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to run off. Okay. I'm going to put on
You're limited in what you can do based on the location of the voice balloons, unless you intend to patch it.
All right. I'm playing a video because I've got to go and get my I've got to go and get my red pencil or I can't do this.
Okay. Play the video.
Right, so let's see. Where's the video for you? All right. We'll be back in a few minutes, folks.
Goodbye.
Alrighty. Don't
So
lay
what
down.
are you doing tomorrow?
How do I get back here?
I have no idea.
Oh, there we are. How do I turn that off?
What are you doing tomorrow?
Everything's changed here now. Where? Okay. What am I doing tomorrow?
Yeah. Because if you're not doing anything, I want you to take my place at the San Francisco Cartoon Art Museum Draw and Chill from noon to 3 Pacific time.
Oh, is it online?
Yes, it's tomorrow online.
Oh, I
Because
think I can
I'm
do
going
it.
to
I
be
think
at
I can do it.
I'm going to be at the San Jose Super Toy Show, and I need somebody to take my place.
All right. Well, welcome back, and we're now going to continue with part 2 of the show, where
Are you going to do it?
it takes 30 years to complete one comic.
Are you going to be part of the draw?
Um,
Are you going to take my place at the Draw and Chill? I want to go look at old toys.
yes, take your place.
Yeah, I'm going to be skipping out in the Draw and Chill tomorrow. I can't do the toy show today because I'm going to go up to see Joe Sick at the Cartoon Art Museum.
Yeah.
That means I have to go to the toy show tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
And if you're at the toy show,
Join us live from the toy show.
I'm not doing anything live.
Yeah, come and join us from the toy show. Like, walk us around the toy show. Everyone would love that. There's always people walking around with videos. Be one of those people walking around with a video.
No.
Like Brian does it.
I'm going to be looking at toys.
Yeah, but you can show us the toys. We'll just come with you. If it's interesting, we'll look. Otherwise, we won't.
No. All right, maybe I will try.
You just pop in for a bit.
Oh God.
Just a Zoom link. You just
You're gonna I'll miss the good toys if I do that.
No, you show us the good toys. The good toys will come to you if you do that. They'll be like, look,
Okay,
here's a guy with the connections. They'll think you're like on the line to make like you're an auctioneer, like you're talking to like some hot buyers. And like get them to show us all the most expensive toys. Get them to show us all the most expensive toys, like we're like high buyers.
I'm not going to show anyone the expensive toys because I don't want them to buy them before I do. I remember Father's Day is next weekend, so the San Jose Toy Show is where you should go to get your Father's Day present.
I've got a problem in that I made this speech bubble up here. It's pointing there.
Yeah, you have to put a character there.
But I can use whiteout. I don't really want him there. It's like I need people.
Have you gotten your father a Father's Day present yet?
Actually, no.
Well, you're gonna have to have it shipped overseas, so you better order something from him from UK Amazon. You know what he'd probably like?
Yes.
What would you like? A DVD of Zardoz.
Guarantee. I tried to watch Rogue One with him the other day because our neighbour's friends with her, who's in Rogue One, and he's met her.
Wait. You're saying that one of your neighbor's friends is in the Star Wars movie Rogue One?
Yeah, our good friend Annika, who's been on the show,
who's
like a yoga instructor.
And she was in it? Or
she was friend? She's good friends with her in London. And, so we tried to watch Rogue One. My dad was like, what was that funny thing Charlie was trying to show us with all the people with the funny faces?
Okay. That's how he describes Star Wars.
That's how he describes Star Wars.
No, I cannot tell you what I got my dad for Father's Day, but I can tell you that the Time Tunnel Toys in San Jose helped me out.
Okay, I've got it. Okay, I've got to do a super warp perspective. All right, you want warp fucking perspective. All right, you're getting it.
Yeah, something like 8 vanishing points.
Yeah, all right. Let's see any way this is going to work.
if you had a 3D application on your iPad, you could just model it.
But it's too no. This is beyond anything that an AI could ever figure out.
Okay. Oh yeah, did you see the stories that Amber was sharing on Facebook? I guess Adobe is now saying in the fine print of their licensing that they have ownership, or at least partial ownership, of whatever you make on their software.
It squeezed me after I pay all that money to use it.
Yeah, you better talk to Amber about this.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. Well, the people that sold those shovels during the gold rush, they own all the gold that you dig up with it. Stupid argument.
Well, all those artists that I sold Macs to, that certainly helped me. Remember, kids, always buy.
Yeah. All those bitcoins that people mined on those Macs, they all belong to the Apple.
Remember, kids, whenever you buy an Apple computer, get the extended warranty.
Is that a real story, or is that just something that somebody's trying to hype up?
What? I used to sell
because people do
extended
like
warranties.
the thing is like. I don't remember, but I think she's a bit indiscriminate about everything she shares. She needs to fact check some of them a bit more sometimes.
No, it also came up on Hogan's Alley.
Well, all right, okay. If they do, they're not going to they can say whatever they like, Good luck with that.
But you buy the full Adobe suite or just Photoshop?
No, I get Creative Suite, yeah. And I use it all the time. So, okay, so everything I've ever done on that software all belongs to Adobe. All right, well.
That's about $500 a year, isn't it?
Especially if I was using it in the old days when I used the pirated version. The people that sell you the tools don't own what you make with the tool. That's ridiculous.
Well, wait, you're getting.
If they're saying because they put it in their license agreement that you have to click, like those things don't mean anything. They're like they're so long. The longer they are, they're so long because they're so meaningless. If they had any meaning, they wouldn't be that long.
You're paying $500.
Everybody just clicks them, and don't tell me that because you clicked it in the agreement that suddenly they own everything. That's the most.
Yeah, it's a contract. No, you're getting the Creative Suite, so that's like $500 a year.
I don't think about that. I think about it in terms of month to month. There's a monthly business expense. It's less than $60 still.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's. I think of it as yearly. Like ZBrush is now $350 a year.
Well, then you have to say how much you're going to make all year. I don't know. Yeah, sure. If you're like doing it hobby wise, yeah, you probably are thinking about it. Like, I'm buying it all year and I'm not going to make any money off of it. Me, I'm like, okay, I've made more than $60 this month.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've used it, a lot of hours, and it's there whenever I need it. That's like, for a business tool, I don't think that's expensive. But, to say that, like, if you can't go around saying that, that's just, what makes them think they can say that?
Lawyers.
Lawyers are idiots. Lawyers have no clue. Like, they use law, which is like words, which is language, which is a form of art. They literally use the art, to spell things out, create these spells that everybody has to obey. For some reason, because they're Magna Carta, because of Magna Carta. Because in Magna Carta, the king was dragged along wicked King John, King Richard. We can debate about that. I say he's a great king because he signed the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta says that the person who makes the laws has to follow the laws, and that's the basis of our legal system.
For now.
Well, without that, there is no legal system.
Yeah, we're seeing.
There is a system. It's a system of sort of the powerful forcing everybody to do what they want.
Well, let's get away from politics.
Yeah. No particular parties involved. I watched that Civil War movie, which I thought was quite funny. They somehow in the Civil War movie,
No,
California.
I'm not even going to discuss it. If I'm
No,
not
no.
going
Well,
to
it's funny.
see
The
it,
premise
I'm
is that
not going to
California and
discuss it.
Texas have teamed up.
Yeah, yeah.
So you and then you can make of it what you will. They don't say what side it is. So like depending on your view, they're very careful not to say what political party it was, but
Yeah.
somehow California and Texas have teamed up against
That
everybody else.
movie was a cash grab, and they wanted it to appeal to both sides of the spectrum. I'm not.
Well,
Gonna
no, I mean, yeah, I don't think so. I think it's just more about yes, it's just about civil wars, and you can sort of see and and being a journalist, it's a good story. It's a good sci-fi story. It's like it's almost like the Judge Dredd origin story again because it's
No.
It's Alex Garland, so he knows his sci-fi stuff.
No,
He's got good Judge Dredd elements to that.
It was
pedigree, to that movie. It's good.
It's
I mean, the Judge Dredd story, like in Judge Dredd, bad Bob Booth took over and started World War III.
It's an exploitive cash grab, and I'm not going to watch it.
You don't like it because you're American, and it's British saying how crap the Americans are. And Americans are normally good at saying how crap the British are, but they really hate it when the British say how crap they are.
we freaking worship the British. Our whole PBS system was based on British TV.
Oh yeah, and everybody loves it here.
And when we make a movie, what do? We import British actors.
And what do? And then they make them come on and beg hat in hand, go, please support me.
Okay,
please help me win World War II.
I am convinced.
Please help me defeat the Nazis.
I am convinced that
please help me make my crappy science fiction program.
I am convinced that in England, Australia, and Canada, they have actor breeding farms because the whole part of your gross national product is based on selling actors to the United States.
Oh, no, this panel's just got a lot better. I'm putting Evil Ferdinand in up here.
Okay.
Because I literally said, but as Pupil emerges, he's caught by a gust of wind. Whoosh.
Okay, but make
sure his dice roll, he's left clinging on to the parapet for dear life. So I'm going to have like Evil Ferdinand. Like
before you start inking, you need to test the line width. Don't use that same pen.
No, I'm going to start light. I actually might do a lot with the brush as well. I think I'm going to use. But I think because it's got a bit bleedy, I think I'll be fine using my other ones.
No, if you were not using a brush in the older panels, you're not using a brush here.
Well, I don't have my rotring pen anymore.
Well, then go buy one. Flax.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine, Dale. You're doing too purist. This panel just got a million times better here already. Okay. You're gonna see. You're gonna be like, oh my god, like what a difference a panel.
You're gonna. The continuity will be off.
No, I've always had this very like ingrained concept in Pupil in that it's all done out of order.
All right, fine. You should go shopping at Flax though. I forget how much fun that place is. I drove up from San Jose. There was a huge traffic jam on 880. So the first thing I did, I go into Flax and I called ahead about the pens, and I must have had a look on my face like I'm there to buy pens because they all recognized me and they were getting the pens out at the pen desk, but I had to use their John. And the cool thing about the John at Flax is they have like old color charts for golden acrylics framed in the John. I spent more time looking at the pictures on the wall than using the John.
Well, here's the thing. I also like a lot of the things I didn't draw were like things that were very tiny detail because they didn't have like a detail-y enough pen at the time, or I didn't really know. I don't know. I'd sort of done a lot with that rotring over the years. I sort of, hung on to that for a long time. And then after that, I really started to force myself to use brush and stuff more.
Well, I like the look of brush. You look at something like Pogo or Calvin and Hobbes. But when I talked to Sergio, he said he was using a fountain pen because he thought that the change in line thickness distracted from the characters.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yes, when you're trying to be funny, that's the thing, is like, you need to be quite simple, and you don't need to be too good. If you're too good, it's not funny. It's like, Laurence Olivier trying to be funny or something, to use a
Yeah,
reference all the kids are familiar with.
yeah, yeah. Why don't you use something that's more modern there, Chuck, like Fatty Arbuckle?
Well, okay, he's not. Well, I think he was. Or was it? I don't know anything about Fatty Arbuckle other than didn't he turn out to be some sort of child molester?
No, he did not.
What was it? He did something. It was in some scandal, wasn't he?
I'm not even going to go there on this show. But you're right. There was a scandal involving a Coke bottle.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a lot of things to talk about after this show.
Kids, go on Wikipedia and look up Fatty Arbuckle.
Check out Duck Penis. Sorry.
God. No,
that was a callback. That was a callback to the form of the older show. I retired some of our older episodes. Like, some of them didn't get a lot of views where you didn't have a guest. It was just you, me, and Amber. I mean, I haven't deleted them. I've just.
Where's Amber this morning? Usually she chimes in.
I've archived them away for a bit.
Amber's running around preparing for her teaching job right now.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that's great. She's got a job. Yes.
She's happy.
Well, she's a good teacher.
Taught me stuff.
He taught you stuff.
Yeah.
And she's taught me stuff. Well, she teaches me stuff all the time, like with the memes and stuff. Yeah, she's very good. She's very good at keeping me politically aware. That's good. I don't know. These politicians somewhat annoy me.
Well,
when I
go up to San Francisco today to talk to Joe Sick, do you have any questions for him that you want me to ask?
I think I'm gonna come, but I wanted to talk to you about it. Yeah, I don't want to be. I want to discuss all my private affairs, but I think I plan to be there. Yes.
Good.
And I don't know. So, are you driving up?
Yeah.
So, what, you could potentially give me a ride?
Oh, God damn it!
Well, then Tina, you'd only have to give me a ride there, and then Tina could maybe pick me up there or something.
If you're willing to go to Amoeba afterwards.
I've got to go to my thing in North Beach after is the thing.
Oh, that's a problem. No, I normally.
Nice trying to get me to go shopping.
I want to.
I say like shops much. I don't know what to say.
That's because you're a communist. A real American goes shopping.
Yeah, I know. That's what they told me when I first came to America. There was this. I was staying in a youth hostel, and there was this very grumpy European girl. She goes, "Oh, America! All you can do is shop and eat."
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Well, the eating was pretty good. I never had enough money to do the shopping.
As a speaking of eating, have you ever had what the hell's the name of it? It's a burger joint, and they have them in San Francisco. It's called Super Duper.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Super Duper. I didn't have their burger, but I had their milkshake. Oh my God, it's good. So if you get to a Super Duper, get a milkshake from them.
All right. Can you see what I'm doing? I don't know if you can.
Yeah, you're inking. I'm complaining. Do you actually?
No, I got it. It's just I had to really, you're right. I mean, I listened to you, Dale, and I did it like a really crazy perspective, and I sort of walked the whole thing, but I managed to keep, everything's in there as it's supposed to be.
Now, do you want me to pick you up? And I can drive up there and pick you up if you want, and then we can go. I can park under Ghirardelli. We can go see Joe Sick. But the question is, do you want me to drive you home afterwards,
No, I
or
think the plan will be that Tina will pick me up there, or I'll go from there to North Beach, or maybe you could drive me to North Beach or something on the way to Amoeba.
oh, how fortunate of me?
Well, I could take an Uber.
No,
Anybody out.
okay. Well, I'll have to get ready here after the show. We've got about 45 minutes, and I've got to pick up gas. And
I like this concept we've come up with today with Ferdinand as the evil god. I kind of like that. Ferdinand is now the evil god officially in Pewful. I didn't realize that until now.
okay. All right.
I've had this idea in my world for like this big finger coming out of the sky and pointing at Pewful and him getting annoyed about it. I don't know. That's I've got all this Pewful material. I've got to get on with it. That's what I'm realizing. I know how to do it now. I feel like when Bill and Ted, when they went away and then they came back and they could play their instruments at the end of Bill and Ted 2, which wasn't the best of the Bill and Ted series, but Bill and Ted 3 I liked.
I still think Bill and Ted 1 is the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat that, really. Yeah, Bill and Ted 2 was it was a bit like overreaching or something. I don't know. I tried but it had some good ideas in it. And then
It's amazing what happened to Keanu Reeves' career.
not to me. I always thought he was good. I must say, when they did that Shakespeare one, and everyone was like, "Oh, I like the Shakespeare, but I didn't like Keanu Reeves." I was like, "What are you talking about? He was by far the best thing in that."
You're talking about Much Ado About Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was by far the best, and I'd seen it on the stage actually, and that character was really good on the stage, and I thought he did it really well. And I don't know what to say. People like they were down on him, but not anymore. Like he's just got cooler through the decades.
He has a tendency to be in films that are violent.
Yeah, I haven't watched those John Wick movies because I agree with you about that.
What?
Well,
Okay, I like Keanu Reeves, but I haven't watched any of his John Wick movies.
Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't, he goes around beating everyone up like John Wick. I get it. I'm sure he's very good at it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not that bothered about those movies.
Yeah, the John Wick.
Yeah, if it was on, I'd probably watch it. I just haven't seen it. And like
the John Wick movies are for people who thought the Matrix movies weren't violent enough.
Yeah, I thought the Matrix movies. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do bloody violence in people. People get their heads chopped off. Blunderball. I invented the Blunderball is the most violent sport ever invented. It like involves like heads being chopped off and like thrown in a big net with there's an implement they use called a pitch spork. This was before Harry Potter or anything. They had the pitch spork. It's like it's like a cross between a shovel and a spork.
Okay.
And you use it. It's designed for decapitating heads. You sort of decapitate the head; they can be pronged and flung into the net. I guess teams have clerics. They have flying goalkeepers, and they have clerics. To help, but the clerics can run out of spells. And they wear these sort of like have the sort of metal armor to protect their necks.
I can see why Goodman Games hired you.
I think this is the other thing. When I was doing this, I didn't quite. I mean, I sort of knew all the tropes, but I didn't understand them as well. Like now, I understand everything about it.
Are you talking about the cartooning tropes, like the
like both the cartooning and the sort of fantasy D&D sort of stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, because you've been drawing this stuff long enough that you have the stylistic solutions at your fingertips. It's like when you're looking at Sergio's stuff, he knows how to quickly draw metal or ceramic or stone or wood.
Yeah.
And you've got that now too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of it, I was sort of making up some of these tropes as I was doing it, and like now I'm like, oh yeah, now there's a lot of things where it's like, oh, there's yeah, I mean, it's old, I mean, it's already an old trope that they were sort of playing D&D and they go into the world. I mean, that was sort of how you did that back then. So I was sort of using the tropes, like the D&D cartoon.
I'm surprised at how D&D it's stuck around.
I mean, it's fortunately like Hasbro have been very good at marketing, and they've hired the right people. And people have got they've got so popular that they've managed to upset people because it is a big corporation, which is understood. But but then Goodman Games has grown on the back of that. Like Joseph Goodman's done a really good job of that, and he's giving you the non-corporate alternative. Which is very much flavored like the original, but even that sort of changed. I mean, it's just naturally changes in style and flavor. I mean, but yeah, they're doing very good writing on those.
It's just nice that these low-tech entertainments still survive.
Well, the kids like it because actually, computer games to me always are limited. Either the AI may help, but no, there's no sort of like soul, or there's nobody that cares behind it, right? A good dungeon master really cares that everybody's having a good time.
Okay,
and the computer doesn't care if you're having a good time.
Okay, I will, Chuck. I will say that you did a good job on the perspective there. That improved the scene.
And I've sort of kept it sort of like showing what's going on.
I like the rubberiness of the building.
Yeah. And then I've got Evil Ferdinand up here, and I'm going to do some black, but I'm going to do the lightning flashes, I guess, or should I draw them in? I mean, maybe I'll paint them in white. I'm going to paint them in white, and then I'm going to do a lot of like rain that's driving around. But I think I have to find my white out for this bit. Here we go. Oh no, where's my white out? Is that in the other room?
Oh no, the whiteout, like all your other art supplies, are in the other room.
Look, the thing is, it's so much nicer to work in there because it's nice and the sun comes out.
Oh, when will you ever have two of each item so you can have them here on camera and then in the other room? Or get a rolling tablerette so you can move them from room to room.
It's not that simple because there's a lot of them. It depends what task I'm doing.
God.
I don't have room for a rolling. What's in okay. I've got one. All right. Well, I'll worry about that later.
You have a garage. You have room for your car. You have room for a rolling tablerette.
Yeah, the car takes up a lot of that room.
Just get a toolbox. Art supply stores sell art toolboxes that you could put art tools in and carry them from room to room. I had one. It's sad. I bought myself a new fountain pen, and it's still in the trunk of my car. I haven't even put ink in it yet.
Well, isn't there value to not putting ink in it? That way it sort of remains in its pristine condition.
Yeah, they're like cars. As soon as you put ink in them, they depreciate in value by 30%. No, Jane at Flax is really cool. She let me dip a bunch of pens and try them.
Okay. So you got a special relationship with her now?
Chicks who are into pens are cool.
Oh, speaking of special relationships, I know we weren't going to talk about politics.
Don't
They're having the
please,
election. They're having the British election on July the 4th.
please no. What are they going
That
to?
like that means we're trying to heat up the special relationship.
Are they going to Brexit again? I mean, can they get themselves farther away from Europe?
I know if the thing is like they're saying like we're going to be further away if you don't vote for us on July 4th. We're going to be further away from America. So they're like really counting on this is it. It's July. It's America or Europe. Make your pick.
Well, you are the 51st state.
Uh,
That was
yeah. Well,
God, there was a movie with Samuel L. Jackson called Formula 51,
oh
but
yeah.
its name was supposed to be the 51st state because they're referring to England as the 51st state of the United States.
Yeah. Well, I've heard
And
that before. That was the song by the.
and every once in a while, you see it on streaming services. It will have the old movie title, The 51st State. But
Well,
you
there's lots
know,
of places. There's lots of places that want to be the 51st state. I'm pretty sure England's not one of them, unless
oh
unless,
yeah, of
unless
course
we
it
can
would.
have unless the king's in charge.
No, if England became a state, well, actually, I don't think it would be like a state. I think it would be like an Indian reservation where you were trying to maintain your quaint native customs.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's in Judge Dredd. Like Ireland was like a big theme park,
I forgot that.
but it was still full of like people who wanted to blow everyone up.
Well, I'll tell you, ever since Queen Liz died, I have not been following the royals as much, and I don't think my mom has either. She was a huge Queen Liz fan.
Oh, so you didn't hear about that? Uh, Kate was having an affair with this Greek billionaire, and so William had him killed, or William killed him, and that's
What?
why he's gone into hiding.
No, I had no idea.
Okay. Well, that's if you've been paid too much.
No, the thing I'm hearing more about in England is the Fortean stuff, like UFO sightings and the big cat sightings. Sadly, there are big cat sightings in San Jose, which is worrisome.
No, that's good.
No, it's not.
You should
I
be
mean,
offering your little cats up to the big cats.
no, that means the
That's
mountain
the law of the
lion.
jungle. Cats respect that.
It
They
means the mountain.
understand that. They catch the mice. That's the only way they want to go is being caught by a bigger cat.
If the mountain lions are down in San Jose, that means they're not finding prey or water, and I worry for them.
All right. Can you excuse me a minute while I go and get my white hat?
Yes, go to
Just
the other
tell me more
room.
about big cats.
Go to the other room and get your white out because you're too lazy to buy a second bottle.
Well, I thought I had it. I don't know where it is.
Kids, don't be friends with cartoonists. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. I'm not going to entertain you. You can just deal with the blank air. Oh.
Right. I got it. Just all I can say is that these other hosts have a team of people. See, my producer, if he was like here, I could have said, "Producer, go and get it."
Where did Sam go? Where is he this morning?
In bed, upstairs in bed.
Yeah, how come I have to wake my ass up and your producer gets to sleep in?
I don't know.
Friendship sucks, dude.
I'm getting tired of the internet anyway. I don't know. Like the more I'm on it, the less it wants me to be on it. I think so.
We could just
I'm getting ready to give it all up again. But I'm going to do this art battle thing. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, you're going to kick ass. Considering that you've been practicing. But if you get lazy and stop practicing, it's going to bite you.
No, no, no. I'm gonna get back
So
to it.
next episode, we're doing. You
Yeah,
better get some canvases and
yeah.
some paints
No, I will. I will. I'm gonna. Yeah, we're gonna get back on with it. Yeah.
because I will drag your. I'll drag you over to Dick Blick or Flax to make sure you have all your junk. Because
Yeah. No, I'm just enjoying my little
if
break
you
here.
slack off after making me wake up early week after week, I'll kill you. I like the rain. But I'll tell you, the stylistic difference between that panel and the others, that's 20 years worth of work.
Well, but the whole page isn't done. There's a lot to happen on the rest of the page, so I think by the time it's done, the page will be a little more unified.
Okay.
But yeah, all right. That's fine. That's just something for people to enjoy.
Oh, I've been lucking out at the used bookstores. Sabrina and I went out a couple weeks ago. We went to Half Price Books in Fremont after poking around in Niles,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a Sergio Aragones paperback behind the register where they have all the rare books.
Oh.
And I had that paperback, but we had them bring it down. The reason it was in the rare book section, it was autographed, and Sergio did a drawing in it, and it was from 1983. So
Oh.
it's an early example of, well, he'd already been cartooning for 20 years, but it's an earlier example of his work than I had in my collection. And then last week I was at Recycled Books in San Jose. I was looking at a Phil Frank book,
Mm-hmm.
and it was autographed by Phil Frank, and he did a sketch in it.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've been lucky getting the autographed books lately.
Wait, hang on. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening here. They come in. They fight these guys. Okay. Okay, there they come. Okay, so they left that door. Okay. I'm just, I'm so detail oriented. I want to make. I'm just trying to figure out if this door is supposed to be open or closed. And I think
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
that detail
They came in. Maybe
that detail oriented trait is why you have your art supplies scattered all over the place.
it's good to get up and walk around a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not. If you want to get up and walk around, go to the art supply store.
Well,
yeah, there's some Dave Sheridan in that panel you're drawing. What is that pen? Is that a Pitt artist pen?
yeah, it's my pet artist pen.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's a sort of more of a building it up kind of way, which is more how it would work back then. But it's quite a slow way of working. I'm a little afraid. I'm going to come in with some black with the brush because before I get too bogged down in the toning.
Okay.
But all right, now that panel's ready, it's on the par with the rest of the page. There's things I can do on the rest of the page too.
Have you thought about doing any cartooning on the iPad using Procreate?
Again, I just don't get much pleasure from working on a digital tool.
Okay.
I mean, it just gives you sort of wrist pain. You're always limited. You can never, all you can do is ever try to approximate what happens naturally, organically. So you go through this incredibly complicated process in order to approximate something that you can do just naturally, very easily, and that's far more fun. So that's a bit where I'm at with digital lately. There was a good meme about AI. It's like, so you've invented this tool that's like acts like a know-it-all and is consistently wrong.
Yeah, don't take AI's advice about what edible mushrooms are.
The AI cannot care about you. Can I just say, cannot care about you? You know, human beings can care about you. 99% of them. 1% of them can't care about you. It's true, but 99% of them can.
I don't know. I think that I think eventually we'll have AIs that are good at pretending to care about you.
Yeah, no, they'll approximate pretending to care, but again, pretending to care is very different from caring.
Hey,
It's almost the opposite of caring.
sometimes
The
pretending
opposite
to
of caring
care
is not
is the
caring.
best you can get.
Pretending to care is also not caring.
Hey, I do a lot of pretending to care on this show.
Okay. Well, all right. Yes, pretending to care is half the battle, I suppose. Fake it till you make it. All right, fine.
That'd make a great T-shirt. Pretending to care is half the battle.
Yeah. But you know, other people say, "Why should I pretend to care?" That would be lying. I'm being honest. And some people, they really don't care.
To be polite.
And doctors call those people psychopaths.
Pretending to care is the way you train yourself to think you actually care. And, you know, if you pretend to care long enough, you start to care.
Yeah. Well, yes, care is something that, you know, is baked into most people.
So are you doing
You know, if
any
they don't have
project?
anything real to care about, they'll care about something very unreal.
Well, it's part of the human condition. You know, you can survive without love, but you can't survive without having something to love.
Now, which side is more in the shadow? This all in the shadow? I suppose this.
Oh, I'm not getting involved in this.
I think this is just all black.
So are you working on any projects for Goodman Games right now?
Yeah. I'm doing well. I've got some illustrations, black and whites, and I've got the top secret project.
Do you want to
I haven't
talk
actually,
about the top
I never
secret
do any work
project?
on the top secret project. Sorry, top secret. I'm waiting for some input on the top secret project.
Okay. So you don't want to talk about that.
Can't talk about it.
Okay.
And I'm doing a bit for my agent. Oh, that's nice. It was a company I did a cover for their catalogue of children's books, and they want me to do the catalogue cover again. I did all these animal characters, but they had a pretty clear idea of what they wanted.
Is this going to be another? Is this going to be a digital job like for your search and finds?
Well, last year, I always do it draw in pencil. I did ink it and color it digitally, but this year I'm a little inclined to do it with watercolor, if they'll let me.
Okay.
But I'll probably still finish it digitally.
Okay. I like your digital work.
I just started realizing that digital is very ephemeral. It's more ephemeral. Okay, so then I saw this book.
Okay, stop and do not
about antique books. Listen, Dale.
Shut up and stop and don't move your hand. Do you have your hand on wet ink? Check the pad of your hand.
Thank you. Actually, now you just made yourself worthwhile. But yeah, you're all right. Thank you, Dale.
Jesus.
I saw this documentary on rare books, and it was saying try opening a digital file from 30 years ago. That's the other thing that people. And then I realized that bits were going. You can't open a digital file from 30 years ago. You can open a book. Superior technology.
That is actually a problem that I had when I was selling computers and I worked for Apple. Is you would run into people who had a lot of data stored on old media, jazz discs, zip discs, super discs, old hard drives.
Yeah, how old was that media? Like a couple of years. You know, old media very quickly.
Maybe about 10.
Yeah, exactly.
15.
10 years is not a long time, is it? For a book, I can still open that book from 100, 500 years ago.
Right. I'm not going to argue with you, but
Yeah, I mean, we can open Dead
that's
Sea Scrolls. We can get about, okay, a computer will help us read. The AI will help us read a Dead Sea Scroll.
it is
Amber was
incumbent.
posting that was a use of AI she approved of. I was like, what about all the Dead Sea Scroll
I
tracks?
have data on hard drives that I have not.
Did like that.
Shut up. I have data on hard drives I have not gotten around to getting off yet. And I better do it soon because they're FireWire hard drives, and I'm going to be relying on an old FireWire laptop to get them off.
Excuse me. What? You're trying to get your computers off?
I'm trying to get data off of some old drives.
I was going to say I thought it was the other way around.
No.
I thought the computer was supposed to get you off. Sorry.
But yeah, that's a risk of working with computers, is that the mediums. It's not just the medium; it's the connector.
Are you familiar with the work of Nathan Fielder? As in Nathan for You. And now he's got some shows on HBO that are great.
No, I am not familiar.
He's like the next sort of level of like candid camera or fake candid camera. It's sort of somewhat real and somewhat fake. It's always very bizarre. But in Nathan for You, which I seriously recommend that you check this show out wherever you can find it. He's like helping businesses. It's like a reality show where he's helping businesses improve.
Okay, so
And one of his businesses is a computer store. He says, well, people don't want to bring their computers to the computer store because they're worried the computer store is going to look at all their porn. So his computer store is staffed only by asexual people. So they don't care about your porn.
You do know that I repaired computers, right? And that I have seen things that cannot be unseen.
I know. That's what he's talking about. So, you know, he gets asexual people, so they don't care.
Yeah. No, I'm still emotionally scarred.
Oh, what are you? Oh no. Okay, well, we won't talk about this. It's a family show. Please, kids, don't look at porn.
Yeah, kids don't.
It degrades women and reduces humanity. So it's basically
No, just don't get a computer. Computers are bad.
Don't get computers. Computers enable porn. I mean, the whole, talk about. I mean, all these people who are like, oh, the devil.
Let's change the subject, Chuck.
They're kind of right.
Change the subject.
The problem is they're not wrong.
Shut up, Chuck.
It's the devil's device.
It is the devil's device. Yeah, it's like the old Twilight Zone episode, Man in the Cave, where at the very end, they discover the old man that's been helping them is a computer, so they stone it.
Oh, I know. I didn't know that one. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay, great. That's brilliant. That was ahead of its time, eh?
Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that's good. That was ahead of its time, wasn't it? That's like spot on. I hear that now. I haven't heard that one before. That's great.
That's okay. You see, this is the difference between you and I. Someone my age who grew up in the United States, you'd have all the Twilight Zone episodes memorized.
Oh, I mean, I was exposed to them. I probably watched most of them, but I'm just saying that's still good. If you're not like following it, that's that's a good one. They'd rather be in the Stone Age than have the computer in charge again. The computer was trying to help them. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's actually a really depressing episode.
Yeah,
it takes place after World War III. And there's a little town trying to survive, and they get all their advice on what to eat and what not to eat, and how to help rebuild things from a computer that's left in a cave. And the guy who talks to the old man in the cave has been hiding the fact it's a computer. And when people discover it's a computer, they're egged on to destroy it because it was responsible for World War III.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Check the heel of your hand every once in a while. Make sure you don't.
Oh yeah, this paper's sort of very absorbent. It's drying up very quickly.
Yeah, still check.
About that. The other thing that's very relaxing about this is because it was all done so badly. I can just do like they're very lazy. I can do it as badly as I like, and it'll still be
No, you
better. It'll
can't
still be
do
better
it
than what I did
badly as you
before.
like. Show some professionalism.
Word?
Show some professionalism. Respect the 21-year-old that you used to be.
I am. That's what I'm saying. My 21-year-old like dreamed of being able to just come in and finish this up very easily.
Yes. He would have dreamed to have finished it easily on a computer.
I mean, I think would have thought about, I was very interested in the idea of computers and the internet and being connected and all this, and I had a friend in England, this guy, Eddie, who had, well, I think it was MS again, and he got very into computers early on, and got I mean, that makes a big difference to you.
What makes a big difference?
Being able to connect to people when you can't get out and about easily.
Yeah. Oh, during the pandemic, it saved
Well,
my
yeah.
life.
I mean, just all people in like, yeah. I mean, okay, I have a lot of problems. I mean, not as many as some people have, but it's a little bit like, okay, now everybody else is getting a bit of taste of what it's like for a lot of people.
Well, the pandemic, I'm still kind of a shut-in because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So being able to socialize with you, well, you're not really a good example, but being able to socialize with others like Amber and
Is it too much like hard work? Am I to make you feel like you're at work?
I remember the first time I read a story about using computers and chat boards to interact with other people and how that was helpful for people who were normally not able to socialize. It was a story by Spider Robinson. And
Spider?
You've never read Spider Robinson?
No.
Great author. He's kind of retired now, but
are they related to any other Robinsons that we know? Anne Robinson.
No.
Anne Robinson ruined Countdown.
None of the Robinsons from Lost in Space.
My mum was a loyal Countdown watcher for like, I don't know, 30 years. And then Anne Robinson took over, and that was it.
Is Countdown some sort of British show?
Actually, it's French.
French.
But it's been very popular in Britain for...
Okay, I am going to just say right now, the magical power coming out of the head that you created by painting the negative space.
Yes.
That's well done.
Well, I forgot there was a thing I was going to do about having the white. Yes, it should go off like the magic somehow sort of draws out of the dimension of the white borders. That was sort of a big part of something I was trying to do.
Well, you've drawn in the borders, but what you can do is you could take some white out and knock those lines out.
Thank you, Dale. Are you going to take credit for that idea? Because I was already going to do that.
Okay, I'd like to remind you, you weren't smart enough to check your hand to make sure you weren't smearing ink all over the place.
Yeah, well, it's a hazard.
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, talking to you is a hazard.
Oh,
still mad at you for not letting me sleep in, bastard.
I'm not sure what's going. Okay. Oh, look, this guy. I think I'm gonna. Look, I can see. At one point, now this is. Why did I have to put his scabby penis in there? Why did I give him do that? I haven't. There's a loincloth drawn in pencil. But
no,
for some reason, when I inked it, I decided he needed a scabby.
It's an artifact of your youth.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to put a loincloth over it now?
Leave it. Fix it in post. So am I dragging your scruffy ass over to the museum?
Yeah. Like what time do you want to get there? Given that
Well,
I probably need to leave there around sort of,
it's 2, and it's going to take
I
me.
should leave there probably around 3 actually. So I mean,
It's going to
I would
take
like
me
to
at
get
least
there.
a half hour before I can start heading up to Frisco, and then it's an hour to get to your place.
Yeah,
And
that gives me time to have lunch and have a shower.
oh, lucky you.
How we do? What is the time now?
11:47.
Oh man, I had too much fun doing this. I just want to do this all day.
Do you want to do that? You can skip the museum, I
No, no, no,
guess.
no, no. I want to go. I want to go see Joe. And yeah, everybody, I recommend they should go to the museum and see Joe. And
And don't
seriously,
forget
any
Amber's
comments from
show
when we were
tonight
Trekkies?
at 6 p.m., which
What's
I'll
that?
probably be missing. Don't forget Amber's show Philo on Art Glitch at
Yeah.
6 p.m.
Drew his shoe under here. That doesn't even make any
I
sense.
do enjoy that show. Amber and Robin are very knowledgeable about comics.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes. I mean, well, they're both very actually professional hosts. They've
I
both
wonder,
hosted shows very professionally themselves.
yes, unlike our show.
No, yeah, I don't consider myself a professional. I mean, I'm doing it because like it became easy. I mean, maybe if I mean, definitely I would have done it when I was younger. I mean, I know that I would have.
I wonder. I wonder if Joe Sick is. We got his last comics when we were at the East Bay Comic Con. I don't know if he's cranked out another one yet, because I don't know if there's anything there I'm going to buy.
I think he did have another one out since I better have a look and check which ones I got because I got a bunch of them at East Bay Comic Con, which I think was the whole set.
I think I've got all of them up to East Bay Comic Con because I bought another one, and I'm too lazy to go look. So
Yeah, I thought I saw he bought it.
whatever
Okay,
he
now I'm a bit
has.
confused. Wait, what's going on behind Bish? All right, I think that should. All right, there should probably be more. There's going to be gradated. Sorry, I'm just sort of thinking out loud of it. Sorry.
But
Sorry, I have to think out loud because otherwise I can't think.
yeah, but I am not. I. How far is your show from the museum?
Oh, not that far because it's in North Beach. So,
Okay.
yeah.
If I drag your butt there, can Tina pick you up or you get an Uber back to your place? Because otherwise, I could go to Amoeba and Borderlands and then pick you up, I guess, afterwards. How late are you going to be there?
Oh, yeah, at the museum. I mean, at the art gallery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, well, I've got to pick up all my art from there afterwards, and it ends at 6.
How much is it?
How much is what?
How much is the art? Would it fit in my trunk?
Oh, you have quite a big car, don't you?
It's a Mazda. I got the back seat and I got the trunk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tina and Heather were planning to come to the gallery.
All right.
So I don't think you need to worry about that. But actually, I don't know if I said that they didn't have to, they might be.
Well,
But then you'd really have to help me with all the art because.
well, how's the park? How? Question is, what's the parking near the gallery to get the stuff out of the gallery?
It's terrible. It's terrible. Like, yeah, no. If you think it's bad, if you think it's bad at the Cartoon Art Museum,
No, the Cartoon Art Museum's easy because I just park under Ghirardelli. If there's,
I don't think you need to worry about that because Tina can come up and park, and that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it would be easier if I had my disabled placard, but unfortunately, I've lost it and I've got a new one on the way. But
oh, lucky me!
yeah.
How did you lose it?
Well, it was a bit stupid. Well, because I always forgot to take it when I went out, so I just would keep it in my coat pocket. And then I got to England and I realized it was in my coat pocket and I didn't need it, so I put it somewhere safe because I was going to be in England for a while.
So it's still
and then I don't think I've seen it again.
So it's still somewhere safe in England.
Or possibly in some papers that I brought back. I might have put it in amongst something. I felt like I sort of tucked it in amongst something. I
So
don't know.
you tucked it into some papers that you brought back, but you've been
Possibly.
too lazy to look for.
No, it's not that I'm too lazy. I've really looked, but I can't think. It must be something else that I haven't thought about. Ooh, I just had a thought. I think
Really?
no, there were a couple of books I brought back actually, though I think I looked in it already. I don't know, but maybe it isn't there.
All right. How about
Well,
during
it's too
lunch?
late now because I cancelled it anyway. So they've got the new ones on its way.
I hate you. Surely do.
Well, Dale, I love you. I take your hate and I turn it into love.
No, you don't. Oh, do me a favor. After we're done here, message me your address again because I'm too lazy to scroll back to find it, and I got to enter it into my GPS.
Okay. Or maybe he wasn't wearing a loincloth. I think that was just supposed to be this shield. I guess Boofer was a bit more competent at magic at this point.
I must say that I'm seeing. I really like the undergroundness of this.
Thank you.
But
Well,
I have to learn from that. Eventually, this show, you need to start giving me hell so I improve.
the thing is, in the end, the comics, they you don't need to do them that well for them to be readable. So you can make a readable comic quite easily. And then it's really just window dressing, I suppose.
Well,
But
how
you
would
want to
you?
have something appealing. You've got to try and have something appealing about the art. I don't
Well,
know.
we're going to go see Joe Sick this afternoon. I mean, I think stylistically, that's a very legible and attractive looking comic.
Yeah. Okay.
But it doesn't have the whimsy that the undergrounds have. It's almost
Yeah.
it doesn't even have the whimsy of something like Mad. I mean, it's that level of professionality, but it's not humorous. I'm trying to think of a cartoonist that would be like him, and I'm wondering. Do you remember Howard Cruz?
Uh, afraid I don't.
Okay, that's right.
Can you remind me?
Uh, trying to remember the name of his strip. Give me a minute. I think it was Weldon or something. It says Howard Cruz had a real polished Wendell.
Sounds familiar.
He had a polished style. It wasn't as kind of scritchy as yours, and
Yeah. Well, mine, I'm really trying. I don't know. It's
you,
complicated.
you want the life in it like Phil Frank.
Yeah, it needs to have life. It needs to feel alive. It needs to feel truthful, but it needs to be comical. It needs to be sort of witty, but it needs to be
Now, just admit it. You want it to.
it needs to be well crafted at some point, though.
Just
So
admit it. You want to attract stoners like the Freak Brothers did.
I don't know who I want to attract. That's my problem. Is I have no idea my audience is. My audience is sort of me, you know. And then I don't. I know that's not the I know I studied marketing 101. You want to find out what people want, and then you make them that. But I don't do that. I know what the story I want to do.
Oh, I had a marketing discussion with Mr. Lobo. We were trying to talk about merch because how to merchandise his show, and I had the idea that one of the better things would be these enamel pins. So I put it to my pals on Facebook, and I said, when you go to a con, what merch do you want to buy from artists? And I thought that like mugs were passe, T-shirts were passe. No, I had it was all over the map. Some people said, I want enamel pins. Some said I want stickers. Some said they want T-shirts.
I don't trust those enamel pin people. They're just like going with the latest trend.
No, I don't think so.
You chase them. By the time you got your matte enamel pins made, they'll be like, "Oh no, now I want, sew on patches."
No one mentioned patches, surprisingly.
No, that's because no one thought of it. If I started doing sew on patches, suddenly people might want them. That's my problem. That's the trouble. That's how I think. And
hey, we got 2 minutes left. Do you want to wrap?
I'll be 30 years ahead of the sew on patch rebirth trend.
Do we want to wrap this up? You've got 2 minutes.
Trust me, in 30 years, sew on patches are going to be hot, and you're going to be like, "Oh shit, he was right."
Well, the sew on patches are computerized now. They have software that just examines the graphic that you gave them, and it just designs the patch.
No, it's going to be bespoke, handmade sew on patches.
No, there's actually some cartoonists there. You can get custom socks made.
Oh, bespoke, by the way. That word was everywhere in England. Like, everything was bespoke now.
Bespoke. Okay.
Like, I saw, like, bespoke plumbing on a van in London. I was like, that's it.
All right. Well, it's 11:59. Why don't we wrap it up?
Yeah, well, thanks for tuning in for another episode of a bespoke cartoon show. We've had one viewer, which is probably Tina.
Hi, Tina.
This show wasn't as popular for some reason. I don't know. It's a usual thing of people not being as popular. But look, I'm quite happy with this page. I want to carry on and finish it now. Look at in particular this panel, which is not quite finished yet. But
okay, well, you don't have time to do it right. You don't have time to do it right now because you got to clean your brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, and use some soap. Get the ink out of the ferrule.
And then wash it.
Thank you. That was seriously annoying. All right, end the show.
All right, everybody. That's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. And,
bye,
you saw it here first.
Bye.
Wait, we got a theme tune somewhere. Where does that go? Here it is. Theme tunes. You've got to have a catchy theme tune.
Song for Chuck Whelon showy. He asked me to write one, but I stole from David